Monday, May 20th. Welcome back to the Damon Bruce Show here on the Plus, brought to you by Ike's Sandwiches. It is awesome to have you around. It was a hell of a sports weekend. That was a great sports weekend. Game sevens. You had a Preakness. You had a major. You had a sweep for the Giants. We got to see Broomhilda, but not in a bad way, in a good way. Those droopy breasts are given, not just taken from the Bay Area. Little broom handle for everyone. It is really good to have you here. Thanks so much for stopping on by the live show. Boy, you miss anything, hit like and subscribe so you don't need to miss anything. You hit notify, you'll never miss a thing. Memberships available for the initiated, should you want to be one, and it is really good to have you here. Thanks again for stopping on by. So many lovely regulars already popping on in. Hello to everyone. It is good to see you all for sure. What do we got? We got a Red Jet is saying what AJ Cruz has got her blocked. Nobody puts baby in a corner. True Blue saying Damon. Love the Malkovich. You like that? Smiley Dan's all about the Teddy KGB. And that's where we're starting with Brandon Aiyuk today based off that thumbnail. Paid that man his money. That's the only thing left for the 49ers to do now. The fact that today I get up and I see ESPN's Jeremy Fowler saying, well, this one's tricky because he was implicated in some trade talks around the draft. He wants a new contract. I'm told the 49ers are open to doing a deal, but talks have not progressed enough to where things are close. Get it together, 49ers. Get it together and pay that man his money. Because if you don't, you're clowns. You're clowns and you're operating in a way that is negligent towards the success of 2024. Kyle Shanahan, this isn't me. This isn't my opinion. This is what your head coach said, that this is Brock's biggest offseason because it's really kind of his first. So what you want from Brock Purdy is all the help around him getting ready for this year, and Brock Purdy does not have the right team around him if his best wide receiver isn't around him for mandatory training camp, which we're not at yet, but will be in a couple weeks. Today, voluntary OTAs is underway. It's the first time these rookies are going to get handed their playbook, start really digesting it. It is the first time that all the veterans who show up for voluntary workouts are going to be refamiliarized with the playbook, see the wrinkles in it. Get this deal with Brandon Aiyuk done. It is far past the time to trade him. If that is what you were going to do, if trading Brandon Aiyuk was part and parcel of the plan, that plan should have been enacted right now. It should already been enacted. I don't want to hear Brandon Aiyuk got traded for 2025 future first rounder or any kind of draft picks because that ain't going to help you this year. Nothing matters to the 49ers, for the 49ers. There is not a lick of future seasons down the road that I want to hear anything about. Nothing. 2024. You want to talk about your Super Bowl window? Let's talk about it this way. After 2024, your Super Bowl window is going to fucking close. Do I have your full attention now? Maybe you can reopen it, but you'll be reopening it with a much different looking team once Brock Purdy's making $60 million a year. And Brock is going to make somewhere around $60 million a year. So conduct business accordingly. Might Brandon Aiyuk stage a hold in, hold out, hold it? Let him hold the money that is the guaranteed money that he wants and get that guy in. You want me to take you seriously? Let me know that you're taking 2024 as seriously as I think you should. Starting 2024 without your number one wide receiver on deck for all Brock Purdy's getting the hang of it is negligence if it's not done. It's straight up negligence. And I don't accuse the 49ers of negligence. This isn't a team run through a prism of negligence. Everyone involved is smart and good at what they do, but don't try to get too cute. You know, the money that you're worried about maybe trimming off this deal, trim it on the back end. Trim it on the back end of this deal. Front end, you're paying the piper. And that's the world you're living in. Hello, Stacy. It is good to see you. 11 a.m. I was a touch late today, Mike. I had to go upstairs and debate what Jillian and I are going to be doing with an upcoming grocery trip today. We were arguing over then she brings home a tub of, it's like spread. It's like a dip, and it's the everything bagel dip from Trader Joe's. And what Jillian will do is bring home a tub of everything bagel dip. She'll sit down with a box of crackers and she will eat 3/4 of it before anyone else even gets to try it. So I told her, I was like, why don't you buy 2 of those tubs? And then we had a very routine husband and wife fight about everything but the bagel dip. What's protocol? Is that what the word we're looking for? Dipping protocol? If Jillian's watching, she's probably going to run down here and say, wait a minute. I'm not going above and beyond. You don't need 2 of those, but we do need 2 of those. We need 2 of those. If you're going to eat 3/4 of a tub of it before I get to it, we're going to need 2 of those. I like the Trader Joe's garlic spread too. And she's trying to tell me, well, that's not a very good, healthy snack. Okay, good and healthy is never, the epicenter of my snacking habits. I'm just looking for something tasty. And it's that or like a handful of Skittles. And I don't care how much calorie is waiting for me in any dip. It's got to be better than a handful of sugar. So double up on the dip, honey. Double up on the dip. We have to strategize things like this. Again, arguing about groceries. You must be married if you're doing that. And it really isn't an argument as much as it is me just encouraging, doubling down on the dip. Smiley Dan says, Ed Lee Safeway incoming. No. She's going to Trader Joe's. And that's when we got into the what dip are we actually getting conversation. And here we are. Hello, all. Hello, Carl. By the way, went over to Line 51 in Oakland to check it out, where Damon, Amendola, and I are going to be doing a show on June 7th, which is a Friday ahead of the reverse boycott. Line 51 is awesome. What a great bar that is. I'm so glad I got to walk in there, see it with my own 2 eyes. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a really, really fun day, and we'll be letting you know more about it the closer we get to it. Again, it is great to have you here. It'll be even better to have Brandon Aiyuk's contract done and just underway with the 49ers. Get it done. Let me tell you what I also want you to get done, because you're supporting me. You support my sponsors. It's a great way to support me, and that means you got to go get a sandwich from Ike's, and I got a new sandwich for you to go get at Ike's. I tried yesterday. Jillian and I were out doing an awful lot of yard work. We mulched, bought about $200 worth of mulch. We remulched the parts of the yard that got the mulch in it. So mulch should do about nothing. It was a busy weekend at the Bruce household outdoors. Lots of outdoor labor, good for the soul. Beautiful days. And we were working so much on the mulch that it came lunchtime. And I said, I'm ordering Ike's. Honey, what do you want? 9 out of 10 times, Jillian wants a backstabber. Delicious sandwich. It's like a chicken Caesar salad on a sandwich. It's awesome. I got the THC, which is the turkey flaming hot Cheetos. There was a little, I put some bacon on there because that's the way I roll. It's got the Godfather sauce, the dirty sauce. It's got some honey drizzle on it. It was awesome. It's a promotional sandwich. Get the THC. I love a crunch. I'm a potato chip guy on my sandwich. I'm a Frito guy on my sandwich kind of guy. And flaming hot Cheetos. It really works on that turkey sandwich. So get it. I also like to add a little onion, little lettuce, no tomato. And since we are going with flaming hot Cheetos, you don't mess around. You put some jalapenos on that too. So your stomach knows that you mean business. Get yourself to Ike's. Get a THC. Get a Damon Bruce. Love the Jamie Sire Witch. There's so many good sandwiches at Ike's. Go make a great choice for lunch today. And then when you're thinking about making bad choices, get yourself to the Dubliner and West Portal. That's a great place to make bad choices. Dubliner West Portal is an incredible neighborhood bar right at the end of West Portal. Go find out for yourself. Go get yourself a great Guinness. Go meet a great group of folks. Go meet Kenny, the bartender. Tell him that Damon sent you on in there and have yourself a really, really nice beer. Next time you're going out for one on the south side of town, West Portal, most underrated neighborhood in all of San Francisco. Get to West Portal, go to the Dubliner, tell them Damon sent you, and you will be a happy man or woman. I can promise you that. Absolutely promise you that. Again, we got AJ Cruz unblock me. Come on. There must have been an accident. Must have been an accident. I'm sure we can work this all out. But it's good to see Chef A, Otis, Mike Baker, Ernie. Always great to see you, Ern. Hello, everyone, but Red Jet. See, and this is why we all get along. By the way, the glasses are just epically crooked. We got to fix these glasses. Worst pair of glasses I've ever owned. They're bendable. They're flexible, and I don't like that. Again, I am inflexible on any Brandon Aiyuk rumors. Get that guy paid, and you get him in. That's what I want to see. Speaking of paying for 49er football, guys over at Niners Nation, Patrick Holloway, put together the math that I was unwilling to do. The math that I saw and I shared with you coming from Joe Pamplano, he was looking at, so how much would it cost to watch every single NFL game? Well, no one can really even watch every single NFL game since the vast majority of you are 49ers fans. And I'm guessing if this is the rule for 49er fans, it's probably the rule for just about every fan base. What does it cost to watch every single game your team is going to be playing this year? It's over $500. You're going to be spending $500 on 17 games of 49er regular season football without leaving your house, without moving off the couch. It's at least a $500 conversation. $501.93, and that is before Fox or CBS even became a flicker on your television. So there's the cost of network TV, however you go about getting that, plus the $501 that you're going to have to spend on what? Amazon, Peacock, Netflix, whatever, all these places it's going. So just be ready. Just be ready. The cost of watching your team is going to go up and up and up, and there's no coming back. And this is how the NFL makes more money than it did last year, this year, and that's the goal. That's the goal, to separate you from as much money as possible before you decry, mercy, I'm done. And obviously, they've done the math, and $501 is what every football fan in America is probably willing to spend on watching their favorite team. And really, you break that down, 501 divided by 17, 18 weeks of football, it's not that much money, but it's money. You got to invest in watching your team. You got to invest. Yeah, no more Smiley Dan investments in Mystic Dan, who couldn't quite pull off a Preakness, and we will probably never hear of Mystic Dan again. But Smiley Dan's legend is growing by the doobie outside of the Dubliner on West Portal. That's why we love Smiley Dan. By the way, I also got to say, I went back to the Halfway Club on Friday night with Jillian and Ozzy. What a great burger they got at the Halfway Club, where we did Plus Mania 3, The Revenge. The burger there is so good, and they got these chicken wings, which are now done with like this Asian kind of slant to the chicken wings that makes them so good. And they got chicken wings like this. I mean, chicken wings the size of grenades. So, Halfway Club, shout out, fed us well on Friday night. So, what else we got going on here? Again, what a weekend. 3 Game 7s, final round of a major, while the Giants were looking for their first sweep of the year, which they did against the Colorado Rockies. So you want to judge it on a sliding scale, that's fair. You can put that bad boy on a sliding scale right now, because boy, do the Rockies stink, but they did come in playing some decent baseball. Giants have won 4 in a row for the first time all year. Matt Chapman, welcome back. Guy's getting on base. He's hitting the ball. Elio Ramos, leaves the ballpark for the first time this year. Second time in his career he's hit a home run. Looking good. Luis Matos throwing himself a one-man RBI party, the likes of which not seen over a weekend in a couple games around the Giants very often throughout their history. Luciano's putting the ball in play. Jordan Hicks continues to be fantastic. Logan Webb trying to make it 5-0 as they start a East Coast swing in Pittsburgh. We'll see what Logan Webb, who is a total stud's got going. And again, stacking wins. When the opponent says, stack this win, you got to do it. You got to do it. So we'll see what the Giants look like before they come on back home. Looking forward to checking that bad boy out. Already did a 2-hour almost wake up with Larry Krueger this morning. You need more diving into 49ers anxiety. I think we did plenty of that over there for you already, so I'm not going to sell you much more. Not when we have such an interesting NBA Final Four to talk about. Who would have ever. Okay, so at the beginning of the year, a lot of people would have had Boston Celtics in their Final Four. At the beginning of the year, I think a lot of people would have had Denver Nuggets in their Final Four, and what do you know? Au revoir, Nuggets. They are gone. Thanks to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They threw down a big boy basketball game on the road in Game 7 in a hostile environment. So did the Indiana Pacers, who go into Madison Square Garden. And look, before Jalen Brunson broke his hand, which is a really unfortunate and bad way for a good season to end. It stinks that he broke his hand. The Knicks were cooked before that moment. The Pacers just came on out, looked at Madison Square Garden and said, nah, we're going to kick your ass today. And they did. The Pacers beat the New York Knicks up on a basketball court. All 4 quarters. Just the Knicks weren't in that game for a minute. And to go in there and silence Madison Square Garden like that, oof, that's some big boy stuff. It really is. So congratulations. We got Pacers and Celtics. If the Celtics aren't back in the NBA Finals, shame on them. Larry brought this up during Wake Up. He said the Boston Celtics right now are kind of turning into the NBA's version of the 49ers. Good enough to get there, not good enough to get it all the way done. You don't want to be living in that neighborhood. We don't want the Niners living in it. Celtics fans don't want to be living in it. And as good as the Timberwolves are, that's not running into, an experienced Nuggets team in the NBA Finals. Let's see if the Timberwolves get past the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks might have something for the Timberwolves, or the Timberwolves might have. That should be a fascinating Western Conference Finals. I think the Western Conference Finals is going to be a dogfight. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics got past the Pacers in 5. Celtics in 5. Timberwolves in 6 or 7, maybe over the Mavericks. It depends on if Luka and Kyrie just go bonkers or not. Karl Anthony Towns played some big boy basketball, making up for the lack of big boy basketball coming out of Rudy Gobert. Anthony Edwards, this guy is just turning into a better basketball player right in front of our own 2 eyes. It's been an awful lot of fun to watch. So, man, I like the Final Four. It's not what we were expecting. Normally, the NBA is guilty of serving up something that we were expecting a little too often. This is an unexpected group, and I like it. I also saw that Raj Mathai had a sit down with Steve Kerr, where Kerr was predicting an amicable parting of the ways whenever it does come time to leave the Golden State Warriors. Golden State of Mind had an article out saying earlier this season, Kerr signed a 2-year contract extension, making him the highest paid coach in NBA history. The length of the deal conveniently aligns him with the contracts of several core players, namely Steph Curry. And after the Steph Curry era ends, that's going to be the time to reset. It's probably going to be the chosen upon time for Steve to walk away. And when the walk away happens, it'll be done. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? You don't go throwing out a coach who, had a 10-year run where you win 4 championships and went to 6 NBA finals. That guy gets to leave with a modicum of dignity and admiration attached. Only the worst fan in the world is trying to motherfuck Steve Kerr out of the job and out of the building. Bit stubborn in some of his ways. Yep. But again, that stubborn nature paid off with an awful lot of success along the way, too. Nothing lasts forever. Very little thoughts of victory last as long as this thought of victory lasted for the Golden State Warriors. Are they done thinking about victory? Well, maybe. It's going to be a tough way out of that middle ground that they have sort of found themselves in. But yeah, there should be no anger or animosity at the end of this. It's been a hell of a run. It's been a hell of a run. The single dumbest moment of outrage this weekend, if you were on your couch for ESPN's pregame of Knicks and Pacers in Game 7, it's embarrassing. ESPN has been embarrassing with their level of Knicks coverage for going on 20 years now. Like, it is overblown when they're not even worth paying attention to. When they're in a Game 7 looking to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, ESPN straight up like gave the Knicks a 40-minute blowjob. I mean, just copulating. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. The level of coverage slanted to just the Knicks was embarrassing. But what everyone got mad at makes no sense to me at all. So ESPN, if we're really talking like, what's the goal of ESPN? They're hunting the lowest common denominator. That's it. And the best way to hunt, kill, and capture the lowest common denominator is to give the stupids something stupid to be upset about. Now, because you are here in the Plus, you're in the chat, you're a member of this family, you're not among the stupids. You're not. You're among the learned. But the stupids are just sitting there waiting to be outraged by something, just dying to be upset about something, and ESPN knows this. They lead the stupids to moments of Twitter outrage the same way a smart farmer leads a donkey to the field by dangling a carrot in front of it, right? What got everybody so upset wasn't the complete lack of any sort of journalistic integrity involved in a pregame where you're talking about both teams, not just one team. They filmed Stephen A. Smith walking into Madison Square Garden as if he were a player walking in for Game 7. Player entrances. The NBA wants to be about fashion, so player entrances are now a thing. I can't think of anything less interesting than watching a guy walk through a tunnel into a doorway. What's he wearing today? Again, I'm a straight male. What anyone is wearing any day, just, I don't care. I haven't thought of it. Now, if you show up wearing something that is totally ridiculous, I'll go ahead and mock it and be like, well, you decide to put on a Muppet jacket today? You look like Cookie Monster. I remember James Harden showed up to a game this year looking like Cookie Monster. It was ridiculous. But what do I know about fashion? I know I care not about it. That's what I know about it. But look, people like this. They click on. So Stephen A. Smith walking into MSG. And the morons went nuts. What are you doing? Why are you treating Stephen A. Smith like a player? What about it? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's an entertainment. And every single time ESPN has Stephen A. Smith anywhere around a Knicks game, they're going to get something entertaining out of that. Or they're going to generate something to make the idiots all sit up and clap. I mean, it's so easy to identify the suckers. They readily volunteer who they are every single minute. When you look up, it's amazing. It's amazing. So the morons go nuts. Now, Mike Wise, who writes for the Washington Post, had the best reaction to this. He said, come on, folks, it's entertainment. Stephen A. Smith figured out that the lowest common denominator of society loves this stuff, and the network ran with it. The biggest market in the country winning would have been good revenue and ratings for everyone but Indianapolis. So, of course, this is the way that ESPN is slanting its coverage. If you expect journalism here, that ship has sailed, and that's what pisses me off. How comfortable we are just agreeing that nothing around this game will even resemble the concept of journalism. It's just all entertainment. That's what upsets me a little bit. Like, I don't care that Stephen A. Smith is being filmed walking in to wherever he's sitting in Madison Square Garden. I don't care. I have always thought Stephen A. Smith was worth the chuckle. I don't take a thing he says and attach any gravity to it. The guy's he's a magician. He's a look over here, look over here, look over here guy. It's what he does. And he's really good at it. But to be upset, I mean, do you not understand what we're doing over here? This isn't journalism. This isn't even covering sports. This is about goosing outrage to get more eyeballs on a television show. That's what sports has become. Thank God I'm here. Thank God I'm here to talk you through all the bullshit, because there's so much bullshit to sift through. And that's why I'm here, to help you out and know that 90% of sports coverage is just a waste of your time. That's why I do not waste your time. I'd rather talk about something that I find kind of interesting and amazing. And I didn't see this. This story is about a week, 10 days old, but I finally stumbled across it this weekend. And we got to shout out a woman named Amy Appelhaas Gubser. She's from Pacifica. And this woman just became the 6th solo swimmer to cross the Gulf of the Farallons. Now, the Farallon Islands sit about 30 miles off the coast of San Francisco. From the Golden Gate Bridge to the Farallon Islands, that's called, I guess, the Gulf of the Farallons. She's the 6th person to ever swim it, but the first to do it outbound. All of the similar swims of the Gulf of the Farallons have started at the Farallon Islands and come towards the Golden Gate Bridge. She started at the Golden Gate Bridge and swam. You got a little bit of a current that'll help you out if you go during the ebb tide, but that doesn't even last for more than 3-4 hours. And then you got the entire ocean being pulled back into the bay. So she is swimming against the current. She's swimming in shark-infested waters officially, like you got sharks around the Farallons. 17 hours. She was in 48-degree water for 17 hours, swimming 29.7 miles. I don't know anything about this woman other than her purse is the one that says bad motherfucker on it. Good God. I couldn't do anything for 17 hours. I couldn't sit watching Seinfeld reruns for 17 hours, much less swim towards the Farallons against the current in shark-infested waters. This chick's a badass. Now, there's another little element of endurance that I saw that is more my speed. And this is where we're going to wrap up today's show. Rapper Rick Ross cuts his own grass. And no, I don't mean ganja jar. I mean his lawn. I'm going to tell you right now, my dream is to one day, and I'm going to have to leave San Francisco for this to happen, but for one day to own so much property that I can spend an afternoon every weekend just out there mowing it on a rider mower. I would love, I can't think of a more zen, like you used to end the Daily Show with your moment of zen. I live for the day where I can just have a rider lawnmower and try to mow the crisscross pattern of the Coliseum's outfield or Wrigley Field's outfield into my lawn. Rick Ross feels the same way. A guy named Demario Smith of Blavity writes, the current 45-year-old rapper resides in a gorgeous home in Georgia that comes with 109 rooms, 12 bedrooms, 21 bathrooms. He purchased the estate that used to belong to Evander Holyfield, and it sits on 200 acres. He was told, hey, Rick, do you realize that Evander Holyfield was spending about $1 million a year just on lawn care? And Rick Ross was like, well, I'm not going to do that, and I don't want to do that. And he went to John Deere, bought himself the best rider mower, and now says mowing that lawn is his happy place. Rick Ross, Damon Bruce, might as well be the same guy. Quote, I realized this was something I wanted to do. It was subconscious. I sit there. I have my cannabis rolled up, and man, I look at the property, appreciate my struggles, my triumphs, all those days, and it's the small things that keep the smile on my face. I already told you that Jillian and I did some mulching. We did some flower planting. I never thought I would like gardening as much as 49-year-old Damon likes gardening, but Damon has always, I'm going third person. I have always loved mowing the lawn. I don't know why. Mowing the lawn is like my happy space. Give me 200 acres, a big fat one, some speakers on my John Deere, and I'll go out and I'll listen to an entire concert. I'll listen to first and second sets and a 3-song encore while I'm just mowing. What are you doing? I'm mowing. And then to really mow well, you got to mow in the other direction so you get that crisscross pattern. What are we, animals? I freaking love mowing my lawn. I love it. Rick Ross, Damon Bruce, might as well be the same guy. What a great way to start a week. Happy Monday to everybody. I think we're about to dip into a little Club Plus over here. You feeling it? You feeling Club Plus on a Monday? Every day I'm hustling. Isn't that Rick Ross? Hustler, 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 hustling. Mowing and mowing and mowing and mowing the lawn. That's my kind of hustle. Straight up John Deere hustler. Love it. I know we're going to be having our good friend JT the Brick on this week. A couple of other irons in the fire. Tomorrow, Tuesday, no show. It's maintenance day for Damon. I'm going to the doctor. No, just annual checkup, routine, nothing more. Then I'm going to the dentist. Then I'm going to the podiatrist. How about that? It's maintenance day. Heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. Getting it all checked tomorrow. So I'm not going to, we're going to do something. We're going to drop a few videos, might do a little live stream from the backyard in the afternoon just to check in and say hello. If anything happens, if any news breaks, we'll be with you. But as official boss, well, let's be honest, Jillian's the official boss. That's why I had to go ask her for more everything but the bagel cream cheese when she goes to Trader Joe's today. It's more of a spread than a dip than cream cheese, but I digress. We are going to be giving Damon a day off tomorrow to go handle the things that he needs to handle. So just keep an eye on it, and then we'll be back to normal on Wednesday with a wake up. JT the Brick will be joining, I believe, on Wednesday at some point in time. If not during the live show, it'll drop in the afternoon, but we're going to get that done. We've agreed to do a little something on Wednesday. We'll check in on the Raiders. What are they up to? What did their offseason look like? We'll get his opinion on the Niners, and there you go. There you go. Erwin wants to know everything when you get to the halfway club. That pork tenderloin sandwich is awesome. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. J49er, we're picking it up here in the chat where I am. Pre-ESPN pre-lame. Yeah, it's not good pre-game. No doubt. So there you go. We're going to hop into Club Plus here. Thank you so much for stopping on by. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you so very much for doing so. And please do remember that sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, He is gone. Squeaky disco ball gets plugged in, and we're now partying. Yeah. All right. Albert, the Knicks are the Cowboys of the NBA. Yeah, I mean, you could kind of put the 49ers in that conversation too. You know, if winning the Super Bowl is what we're mocking, you can throw a little of that mockery the 49ers way, but at least they're in it, right? Otis saying, look, this is why ESPN and ABC should get the axe instead of TNT. Oh, look, even though the TNT pre- and post-game show inside the NBA has got a lot of entertainment to it, there's actual basketball being discussed. There is really not to be found much basketball in that ESPN pre- or post-game show. It is embarrassing. Isn't that just like the expectation of journalism means we got it wrong? Isn't that disgusting? Rockin' Eastwood, always great to see you in here. I saw you, Rockin' Eastwood, in Wake Up as well. Thank you very much. He's saying, I haven't watched ESPN anything in 10 years. Well, it's because you're a man of discerning taste, and thank you very much for that taste bringing you over here. UC Steve, ESPN always blows East Coast teams. And look, I get it. It's New York. It's a big market. The choice between the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals or the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, well, again, ESPN is showing you their hand of cards. You know who they're rooting for, and then you can't deny them wanting that. But man, put a little just, suggestion of unbiased into your pregame show. Like, let Stephen A. Smith come out and be the I'm dancing for the New York Knicks clown show, and then have everybody else do like a legitimate pregame. Wouldn't that be nice? Joe G, konnichiwa. See you in there. Thank you. I don't know. What do we got? Erwin's asking Joji, Genki, what does Genki mean? Because Genki Ramen on Geary was my go-to ramen spot when I lived in when I was in the inner Richmond. I used to live right on Funston and Anza, right there on the edge of the Park Presidio, and just a few blocks was Genki Ramen. Really good. What else have we got going on here? John, good to see you in here. Thank you very much. I don't know what I did to give you the crying face emoji, but I'm glad it's working for you, brother. Thank you. What else? What else is going on? I will agree with this, Erwin. ESPN coverage is a reflection on the American problem of laziness. I don't even know if it's laziness as much as it's just we will decidedly not do the job we were assigned to do for the easier path that might bring us greater riches. Like, that's the problem. Like, now that the Knicks are done, you've basically sold the audience of the next round. Well, this isn't going to be half as interesting as what it might have been. So, like you're basically inviting people to tune away. You're inviting people to tune away. How does that make sense? Joji saying Stephen A. Smith averaged 0.6 points per game. What, like in high school? Was that his actual career scoring average? Oh, so we've officially reached the portion of the show where I told you about the woman who did the Farallons swim. Smiley Dan going, shark, 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 shark. Robert Prado is saying, damn. Isn't that something else, though? I mean, I'll tell you. It's incredible. So did Dave Lombardi. Dave Lombardi swam to the Farallons. Is that true? I know Dave Lombardi swam from Alcatraz to San Francisco. That's much different than swimming 30 miles to the Farallons against the current. Kenny, are you declaring this is news, or are you asking if this is news? I think it's news. I think it's impressive. I don't know if it's news, but I know that in the world of in sports, a human did that. I'm impressed. Kenny 49ers, thank you for watching. Too many sharks. Yeah, that song's a bane of every parent existence. Luckily, we hid Baby Shark from the boys and weaned them off it about as fast as possible. Chef A weighing in on the feet saying, she's clearly insane. I mean, you just got to be a badass to do that. But yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. Our ancestors did this thousands of years ago. Kenny, I'm willing to bet that thousands of years ago, there weren't a lot of Gulf of Farallon swims. I don't think that was like a routine commute at any point in time in human existence. True Blue forever. Everyone should trim. I know, guys like to get some trim. Oh, we've reached the let's talk about Rick Ross portion of the show. Ross is boss. Yes, Robert. Yes. I'm telling you right now, I love mowing the lawn. Love it. John Deere. I think you need an E on the end of that, Deere. Isn't it Deere for the Deere lawnmower? But that's freaking amazing. What do you like to do, Rick Ross? I like to get high as fuck and mow my lawn. It's amazing how much Rick Ross and I have in common. It really is. Damon, Rick Ross is involved with Puff, thumbs down. Look, let's not do this. Sean Combs had the video over the weekend of him running out of a hotel room in a towel and just smacking up a girl, and it's disgusting. Everybody in the music business, everybody in Hollywood did something with fucking Puff Daddy there for a minute, right? I mean, so Puff Daddy was in the movie where Halle Berry had that muy agresivo sex scene with, what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. Billy Bob Thornton. Yes, that's it. What are we going to be like? Oh, you can't. Halle Berry did something with Puff Daddy once, so she's bad now too. Look, just because you did something with an asshole doesn't then make you an asshole, especially when that asshole is trying to take a picture with every celebrity that ever lived. Like I saw somebody saying, oh, shame on Barack Obama for having a picture with Sean P. Diddy Combs. Come on. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Like, a person walks up to you who's a famous Hollywood celebrity and you say, hey, have you ever done anything wrong in your life that could be an embarrassing point of discussion? Should it be identified with you years from now and I'm taking this picture with you? Come on. Every day I'm hustling. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, my name is Dr. Green Thumb. That's when Cypress Hill became kind of a parody of itself, right? Like Cypress Hill leaned into the just songs about weed thing a little too hard. Dr. Green Thumb is actually pretty good. But we all know that they went that weed route just you should have left it in fourth gear. You didn't have to go all the way. I like to smell of cut grass. It's part of a great widespread panic song called Coconuts. Jackie loves the smell of cut grass. He used to play ball on Saturdays, just playing in the sun. Coconuts by Widespread Panic. If you've never heard it before, go listen to that. That's a great sunny day song. Coconuts by Widespread Panic. Ooh, come on, Jack. Smell these coconuts. The song starts with, I like coconuts. You can break them open. They smell like ladies lying in the sun. It's a good song. We got our man, Rob C-Note, saying it's weird. Damon likes somebody with two first names. Yeah, it's that two first name bind. Absolutely. Native dancer. That's integrity. Gotta love integrity. Damon, I got an acre out here in Paso Robles, right across the street from Alex Trebek's old horse ranch. The cows, the grass, you'd be through. Oh, dude, I'll come and mow it for you. I got a buddy of mine, bought this gorgeous place up in Windsor, threw a big party, had, like 50 people come out for the party. During the middle of the party, I turned to my friend Neil and I go, dude, your front lawn there needs a little mowing. You got a rider mower. Can I leave your party and mow your lawn for you? He's like, hell yeah. And I did. While everybody was at this party, I spent, if we were at the party for 4 hours, I spent 2.5 hours mowing a lawn. Where's Damon? He's high as fuck over there mowing Neil's lawn. I like mowing. I like mowing. Damon, Rick Ross was paying someone to roll his weed. Hey, I guess he needed a weed guy. That's a good way to keep a friend on the payroll. At least you put him to work, right? Dan wants everybody to go ahead and hit that like. Dan, thank you very much. I'll go ahead and echo that too. I appreciate it. Oh, see, I took care of it on Sunday, but Robert's saying Monday's lawn day. Well, then you're going to have a great day, aren't you? You are going to have a great day mowing that lawn. Damon asked the doc to put some lime in the coconut. Drink them both together. See, another song about coconuts. A lot of coconut reference today here on the song. I like coconuts. Sporticus knows what I'm talking about. Cutting grass just brings back the zen of nature. I do. The smell of cut grass, just being outdoors in the sun. It's very nice. Chef A. Sativa for daytime, indica by the night. Who's mowing what? Again, I have smoked so much weed in my life, I can't tell the difference between... Dude, there's just... I've said it before, I'll say it again. Weed for me is a light switch. It's either on or off. I'm sure there is a little bit of a difference to some people. I'm not one of those people. JJ Redick's good for ESPN. Yeah, look, he is probably one of the most interesting, actually talking basketball strategy, X's and O's guys out there right now. What is he? He's interviewing for the Lakers job? I mean, if LeBron wants him to have that job, he's going to get it, right? Michelle, plusing up on a Monday. There we go. Thank you, Michelle. Always great to see you. Oh, and now I know. I learned a little Japanese today. Erwin saying Genki is the equivalent of saying, hey, how you doing? You feeling good today? So Genki is the Portuguese, oi, tudo bem. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? How you doing? What's up? I like it. How about Tyrese Halliburton? Why did the Kings trade him? Well, because they decided to be in the De'Aaron Fox business, and they got Domantas Sabonis back. But I think they might have given up the best individual player in that trade, man. Halliburton is for real. Damon, that Genki ramen spot is now a Korean church. Freaking pandemic, man. Lost a lot of the restaurants that I liked. There we go. Oh, do we have a little breaking news here from Smiley Dan? The all-rookie first team came out, and Brandon Pajemski is on it. My question is Trace on the second team? He should be. Is there a second team all-rookie? Trace Jackson Davis should be on an all-rookie team. Maybe not a starter, but he certainly deserves to be there too. But, dude, Brandon Pajemski, pretty damn good. Good for him, too. He deserves it. That guy deserves it. All right, my friends. I think we got it. Let's look in here. I think we got it. What a great day. What a fun Monday. Again, keep an eye out for tomorrow's show. We'll put something out there into the world, but it's not going to happen right at 11 a.m. That's my first doctor's appointment. And somebody asked earlier, Dr. Paul Hughes? No. This is just, eyes, ears, throat, blood pressure. How are you? Just one of those. Just routine. I think Billy Bob look at it this way. Billy Bob did, I believe, have he and Angelina Jolie actually date there for a little while? I think with Halle Berry, that was just that's just part of a movie. Widespread opening up for the Rolling Stones in Colorado before the Red Rocks run. That's cool. The Stones aren't playing Red Rocks. That's not big enough for them. The Stones got to be playing where the Broncos play or something. But Widespread Panic at Red Rocks? Oh, I'd love to see that show. Windsor is nice up there. It is. Let's see, Rick. Damon, before I continue to listen to you, did you do something mean in 10th grade or 7th grade? No. What? I don't know. I don't even know what that's referencing. I was not a mean kid. I was a good kid. Friendly Damon. The talk of the day, the take of the day from John, mow the lawn on your coconuts. Hell yeah. Now Rick, what are you hearing about me? What did I do in the 10th grade that was mean? I don't think I did anything. Certainly nothing that you would have heard about. Smiley Dan says, hey, TJD, the 11th top vote getter, so he just missed first and second team. Give him a reason to be angry. Watch Trace Jackson Davis bottle that and turn into an even bigger badass next year. Something about I still don't know what's going on. Did anyone see Kalena Azubuike at the scorer's table in OKC? Was he out there? I did not. Did not notice Kalena Azubuike at the scorer's table. Was he trying to check in? That I would have noticed that. I would have noticed that. I notice how many of you. Oh, this is yeah. He's referencing your comment about Puff Daddy. No, I'm not setting up to get out of trouble myself later. But no, look, Dude, Puff Daddy did something absolutely disgusting. And I guess it's something that he was accused of for years, always lied about. He's got to, that guy disappeared. I don't think anyone would care. But it would be like finding out. So Puff Daddy did what? I'm never listening to Biggie again. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. Thank you. Thank you so very, very much for hanging out today. Thank you so very, very much for kicking it with us. Again, tomorrow will be a little different. We'll be right back to our regularly scheduled programs on Wednesday. In the meantime, thanks to all of you for being just an awesome audience, being an awesome chat, being a place where people want to come back and hang out and get to know each other each and every time. We do a show. Watching you guys all hang out together is one of my favorite aspects of it. It really is. So thank you very much for hanging out and spending your precious time over here. And that's why it just breaks my heart to let you know that you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here in Club Plus.